This project aims to establish a new public wellness platform in which citizens gather as a community to collectively participate in wellness practices that are deployed virtually and felt physically. It is wellness on demand that provides service that is globally civic, run by the state, and governed territorially. Regardless of the location but required access to the main sensorial translator, water, platform invites citizens to take a rest during the day, recover from medical or mental treatment, experience communal healing, or share their unique water experiences with their companions. Each receives tailored treatment plans that curate their healing by taking them through bodies of water that vary in their healing properties. When we think of wellness, we think of it in terms of illness and assume that the absence of illness indicates wellness. In fact, it's the role of the treatment paradigm, where by utilizing drugs, surgery, or psychotherapy, it can bring us up to the neutral point, where the symptoms of disease have been alleviated, and it's all that it's designed to do. The wellness paradigm, on the other hand, directs you beyond neutral and encourages you to move as far toward wellness as possible. The right to health for all people means that everyone should have access to health services they need, which most of nations successfully provide in the form of universal health care. The only downside is that our current healthcare delivery systems tend to be disease-focused, leaving out wellness practices on the other side of the spectrum. As a result, wellness became a big business. The modern concept of wellness carries in its definition the need to purchase something in order to have it. The pandemic has focused our attention on the important role of preventing disease before it occurs and helping those at risk become more healthier before they become ill. These are ideas that stand at the core of wellness, underlining the importance of it to a healthy citizen, and hence a healthy nation. First-term explorations uncover Soviet sanatoriums, well-being institutions born under the ideology of Soviet Union. They are a great example of state-run institutions that historically provided workers with constructive rest. Halfway between a spa and a clinic, they offered unconventional health and well-being treatments. A handful of them still operate in the Soviet Union states today. By investigating their architecture, intentions, and potential, we dive into an immersive experience of collective healing. Through the prism of holiday, we see the collective nature of Soviet existence and the uniformity of it that allowed its architecture to be inviting and collective. Their function was to provide rest and recuperation so citizens could return to work with renewed diligence and productivity. The 1922 Labor Code prescribed 2 weeks holiday a year for many workers, and under Joseph Stalin the right to rest was enshrined in the 1936 Constitution for all citizens of the USSR. In keeping with Soviet ideology, communal spaces were emphasized and individual living areas were limited to encourage group activities, which fed into the Soviet tenet of collective living. Meals were taken in common dining halls and leisure time was scheduled. Entertainment came in form of lectures on atomic energy and theatrical performances intended to enlighten rather than simply amuse. But that has changed over time. In contrast to busy agenda and open environment of common rooms, private rooms were plain, providing only essentials for a short stay. In early days of the Soviet Union, every aspect of sanatorium life from sleep to sunbathing was controlled and monitored by staff in accordance with a strict schedule. Soviet holidaymakers would start with a visit to a resident doctor who would draw up a tailor-made program of calisthenics, dietary recommendations, and treatments. Every detail of sanatorium life, from architecture to treatments, was intended to edify workers while encouraging communion with other guests. Gradually, a shift towards a more relaxed sanatorium culture developed, and today guests can undertake as many treatments as they wish. However, the concepts of collective healing stayed at its core. They manifested through medicinal objects, synchronized physiotherapeutic routines, and unintentional meetings in waiting rooms and salt caves. Soviet curatologists viewed reconnection with natural environment previously seen as hostile and inhospitable as having the potential to both heal illness and to end social alienation. Not only did curatology underpin medical culture in sanatoriums, but it also influenced their architecture, making it circular, centralized, and inward-looking. Built on completely different values, health, efficiency, and organized collective experience, through the prism of holidays, we see the collective nature of Soviet existence and the uniformity of it. But this same uniformity allowed for ideology to manifest, architecture to be inviting and collective. As one eager young sanatorium administrator put it, without fear of contradiction, "Your health is not your own, it belongs to the people." In November 2002, the Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights adopted General Comment No. 15 on the right to water. Article 1.1 states that the human right to water is indispensable for leading a life in human dignity. It is a prerequisite for the realization of other human rights. Comment No. 15 also defined the right to water as the right of everyone to sufficient, safe, acceptable and physically accessible and affordable water for personal and domestic use. While being a big part of our daily routines, different compositions of water may help our bodies heal. High accessibility to water allows this platform to optimize experience with minimum infrastructure and allows any individual to enter the space regardless of who they are and what surroundings they're in, as long as their skin touches water. It is possible to access the world through a private bathroom, a puddle in a park, a river, or a larger body like the sea. Platform portrays people through a combination of who they are and what they are doing, providing space to heal and recharge, even to people who are not on the forefront of tech. Each member of the community receives tailored treatment plans that curate their healing by taking them through bodies of water that vary in their healing properties. Just like architecture of Soviet sanatoriums, the spatial arrangements of the world are inward-looking, recreating the feeling of togetherness. In order to switch rooms, users must physically exit the water in real world and submerge again. Once an individual exits the water, all haptic senses reset, and the person's body readjusts, creating more room for new sensorial experiences. This is similar to using coffee beans to reset your sense of smell. As you enter the platform, you're greeted and invited to take a look at your treatment plan for the day. The spaces that represent different treatment rooms are sections of bodies of water that deploy once you submerge into your water environment. Uncovering the concepts of water memory and through deployment of non-contact water haptics, every user can transfer the state of the water in which they are submerged with them, from temperature, salinity to viscosity, and many more, taking tactile sensation to a new level. This allows one to be felt and feel the other, to enable togetherness as two bodies of water melt together and manifest communal well-being. Information revolving around individuals also represent their current health status, similar to undertaking a physical examination, the purpose of which is to ensure that you stay in a good health. Your health aura is visible to others, reinforcing the idea that the health, in fact, is always shared. The project is positioned in a speculative future where haptic technologies have advanced. My ETS project explores water as a sensorial translator with the potential to alter the experience and translate information into different water environments. Focusing initial analysis around fluid dynamics, healing waters, and controlled environments, my further technical ambition is to define the metrics of healing or comfort underwater by defining much clearer parameters of the spectrum of possible sensations that will help to drive my design decisions further.